Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a little bit of a very peculiar Xbox Game Pass talk. Now, as you guys know, throughout the past, I think especially past few weeks, we've had a lot of really big harping and a lot of big critiques when it comes to the Xbox Game Pass, but as well, kind of like the future of what's going on, kind of like the overall public reception and everything else. But as of today, in these past few hours, we have been seeing like the motherlode of all people kind of chiming on in. We've been seeing Xbox Game Pass trending on Twitter. We've seen it being kind of taken up on Storm when it comes to Reddit, and overall we've just seen a lot of very, very negative comments in regards to the Xbox Game Pass, to the point where now it kind of seems like a lot of folks out there are max exodusing out of the Xbox Game Pass, especially until, well, basically Xbox gets any actual games. Now, I've been kind of somewhat on that same similar mindset, and I'm definitely not anti-Xbox by any means, but at the same time, sometimes you have to worry about the overall value of what you're getting and how much money you're basically spending on a month-to-month basis. So I'm going to kind of want to talk about this, talk about the drama, talk about everything else, and at the end of the day, I think a lot of this can easily be solved by the number one easiest solution: making some new games, as well as also making some good games, and as well, stop delaying games. So let's go talk about this. And as well, if any of you guys are brand new, obviously give your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller, Twitter and Twitch room down below, the Weeble and Coinbase down below, the Twitter giveaway down below, and of course, if you guys are absolutely unfazed by all this news, Xbox is still in stock over in Best Buy down below. So as I mentioned, we've been seeing some big drama recently. Ever since we saw that big Starfield and as well Redfall both being confirmed delayed until 2023, and as well with our brand new Xbox conference coming out in the next few weeks, I believe it's as of June 2nd. So with all this, we see a lot of these events, we see a lot of these alerts, we see pretty much everything going on. And it's not good. So a lot of people nowadays are actually having a lot of apprehensions in terms of their Game Pass subscription. And I myself, rightfully so, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I actually canceled my Xbox Game Pass subscription too as well. Now, I still think it's a fantastic system, and that's kind of the one nice thing about life, is that I could always just thankfully re-pick it up in the very near future. And I probably will. Next time there's actually like a lot of really cool games kind of coming out or anything that super like intrigues me, I will probably go be re-upping my Xbox Game Pass, and throughout the next probably few years, I will probably go and cancel it a few times, re-up it a few times, and also cancel it once again a few different times. Because it's kind of the same thing with Netflix nowadays and a lot of these more subscription-based services. And it kind of seems like, well, sometimes the value just doesn't hold up. Or one of the biggest kind of things I enjoy is when it comes to those streaming services, so think Netflix and HBO, and then, Paramount Plus, and then Disney. Basically that, I just kind of like going and binge watching whatever is on a certain service for that 1 month period, and then guess what? Cancel it, move on to another one. So a good example for Netflix, they'll probably be having Stranger Things coming out in the near future. I will want to go watch that. I hope it doesn't suck. And then probably whenever that's done, I've kind of mostly gone through most of the other Netflix offerings that are already on the system itself. So at the end of the day, I've had it for a while. It's probably time for me to move on until more content comes. And that's kind of how I feel like a lot of people right now are going for the Xbox Game Pass. So over here, I've been seeing a lot of tweets. Like here's over here from Tony and Palenkio saying unsubbed from Game Pass. The service is great, but there aren't any AAA exclusives to compel me to stay. I'll be back when the titles start dropping. And I'm going to talk about that too because I'm on the same boat too as well. When it comes to all these next big things, I am not the biggest fan. And we also seen Gene Park too as well, who also had a chance to go and talk about this with loads of different comments all tied on with this, saying, yeah, I'm unsubscribing from Xbox Game Pass for the first time ever. And that's kind of how I was into it as well. Gotta admit to myself, I barely use it and barely have use for it now. I'll be back, but for now, there is no point. I'm also kind of continue on to with a lot of my points. I'm saying maybe the Xbox June showcase will change it, but I was promised new exclusives every 3 months, and we just don't have that. I played Trek to Yumi, yay. And then obviously a lot of people are kind of complaining about that too on both sides, Xbox side and PlayStation side. Though I think a lot of my YouTube comments are usually pretty chill, so at the end of the day, I'm sure no one's going to complain too much. Just more so some people want to save money, some people don't at the end of the day. But the next kind of big comment, I've been mentioning this a lot. I am very, very hopeful and very, very thankful that we do have an Xbox event coming out in the near future. With Xbox, they do usually have a lot of announcements, although the last two I think were more focused on like pushing Game Pass, trying to get new games on Game Pass, rather than exclusives. And when it comes to gaming, I think we could all collectively agree, that's why Sony kind of does so well, and even Nintendo, exclusives. We want good, proper games. And we've kind of been harping on this for a while now, but it kind of seems like it's also picking up more steam, because a lot more folks are finally going and ending their subscription points. And at the end of the day, I guess maybe a good topic point for this one. Have you guys canceled your Xbox Game Pass as of recently, or do you guys even have Xbox Game Pass, or are you still utilizing it? Now, a lot of people are still going hardcore when it comes to the indie side, and I want to agree. There is new games being added, there's new indie games all the time, and I think that's phenomenal. But at the same time, I'm also more of like a mainstream gamer. I usually prefer more of the AAAs, besides if a really good indie game does kind of come on out. And it kind of stinks too, because a lot of the Xbox Game Pass stuff that's even being added as of recently is still cool. I like the idea of them adding stuff no matter what. I am not anti like just them buying random stuff. But the big thing is kind of the same thing when it comes to the PlayStation Plus, and I'll critique them too as well. These are all older games. We're seeing a lot of the Assassin's Creed Origins and For Honor that are coming out in this June time for Xbox Game Pass. And while that is also cool, I love seeing the connections with Ubisoft. I love seeing PS Plus getting connections with Ubisoft. The one biggest thing is that, well, a lot of these games are just not cool. Like, if you guys look through a lot of these too as well, like we have For Honor, cool, June 1st, Assassin's Creed Origins, June 7th, Shadowrun Returns, June 21st, you know, there's games still coming out. Like, we're still seeing all these Game Pass games or whatever, but as you guys can probably go and see, a lot of these are just more on the indie side, which is not bad. I love indie games, and I think indie games deserve their place in the industry. But for someone like me who has Game Pass, if I wanted to play a very large majority of these games, I would have already played them. I would not be sitting on it. I would not be spending the money on Game Pass all the time. And at the end of the day, it's kind of just, I guess, up to like the call. So I will stand by. I don't think, unless the next June conference is good and the next exclusive come out in the near future, I don't think I'll be re-upping my Xbox Game Pass at least for a little while. Now, once again, that does not mean I'm going to be gone forever from the service. I'm okay with it. I think it's a good overall service in general. But I think the one biggest struggle is, like, once again, lack of AAA games. So if you kind of go through a lot of these over here too as well, which is kind of funny because I see Gene even saying I'll be moving to PS Plus Premium for sure, which in all honesty, I keep on saying I'm just getting on the baseline PlayStation Plus as is, you know, on top of that. But, like, there's a lot of people over here, like the same, you know, this probably actually warranted this tweet over here, saying, thinking about doing the same. Game Pass is a fantastic service, which I agree with, and as well, but it just kind of stings too on top of this. And of course, obviously, some people are getting upset about it. Like, there's a lot more other comments too as well, but something like this. Like, what is wrong with indie games? Coming from people that work in the game industry, this is so sad to see, this is wrong. And people are obviously upset about it. Like, people, like, throughout all these things, there's a lot of hot takes, or even stuff like this tweet. You can see, like, you mean you don't plan to play all of this? And, like, even from my own critique, I've already played Grounded. I've already played Deathloop. This game, like, not a bad game, I guess. Pac-Man's whatever. You know, Assassin's Creed, super old, whatever. For Honor, like, 5 years old, whatever. Shadowrun, won't play it. Scorn, won't play it. Dark Tide, won't play it. Midnight Express, won't play it. I already played it myself. This is a random kids game. Stalker, I'll probably play. Plague Tale, I'll probably go play. But these are also not out in the near future. Atomic Heart, I'm very excited for this. And a lot of these are cool games, don't get me wrong. Like, here's Pigeon Simulator. I did a sponsor for that. Like, for someone like me who's a pretty proactive, like, gamer, there's only maybe, like, 2 or 3 titles that really kind of go and perk my interest. And a lot of these, I'll just go and bring out my Game Pass subscription when it comes to, well, the next time they come on out. But like I said, I already have a PS5. I already played Deathloop. Grounded, while it's a cool base game, indie game, it's just not even fully complete. Like, a lot of these kind of critiques are cool. Like, I love that they're adding more. I want them to keep adding more. I think this is a good deal for gamers. I think it's good deals if you guys have Xboxes, especially if you, because, like, you'll get bored. You have a weekend, you want to check out a new indie game, and the fact that you could do it for free, like, in part of your subscription, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, like, there's nothing really that exciting on this entire list. Like, for all the big boy things, like the Fables, like the Halos, like, you know, the Gears of War. And I think that's kind of why we're having, like, a really big max exodus when it comes to this type of stuff. Like, we're seeing a lot of people over here, too, as well. Like, we're kind of like, you know, people are obviously critiquing this. They're like, hey, why are you even announcing this? Why do you even care about this too in the first place as well? And obviously, this is where a lot of people are making their comments, where it's like, Xbox need new big games every month or so. I don't think every month or so, but, like, we need at least something. Like, it's been this entire year without an Xbox exclusive going on top of that too as well. And, like, it's just kind of weird. Like, some people are like, yeah, I'm down. I totally get it. This is where, you know, the Redfall and Starfield delays can and will slow down Game Pass growth. And I would agree on that too as well, unless this next big event is going to be coming out pretty big too on top of that. But, like, people are kind of memeing on it, which is kind of rightfully so. But just sometimes it's kind of like the Netflix phenomenon, where you go through all the content and you're kind of just going and chilling until the next time at all. So I'm going to give you guys the thoughts. Like, if you guys want to give your comments and thoughts as well down below, feel free to. I don't mind if you guys ever want to as well, and I appreciate you guys all so much for hanging out and kind of giving me guys overall thoughts. As well, if you guys are active Xbox Game Pass subscribers, leave a comment down below. If you guys are or are not, or will just be taking a temporary break, let me know. Like I said, I'm in the same boat too as well for other subscriptions too on top of that, even the Netflix, so I'm just kind of curious your thoughts and comments on it down below. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console controller, Twitter and Twitch room down below, the Weeble and Coinbase down below, and everything else down below too, with like the Xboxes themselves. You also want to go and buy them. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching.